Hello, my friends. Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Man Cave. And I didn't think I had very much to cover today, but that kind of quickly changed here in the last 15 minutes. Literally in the last 15 minutes. I've got all kinds of stuff to show and tell. So here we go. The first thing is a Handmade Violin by, well, let me back up. Let me do a little housekeeping first. We're going to have our lesson this evening, and so that'll be a mandolin lesson, and that'll be at 7 o'clock p.m. So if you have anything you want me to cover in that lesson tonight, put some question marks in front of it, put it in the comments here, and so I'll try to cover that this evening. Or if there's any particular song you want to work on or anything like that, we'll try to do that this evening. Remember that there is still a fiddle contest going on until 5 o'clock p.m. tomorrow evening. In other words, I'm going to give away that brand new fiddle outfit. It's a very nice outfit. I set it up so it plays real easy. And right now, I think we only have 2 entries. Again, I haven't looked lately, so since maybe yesterday or day before, so there could be more entries out there. But get your it's just get a 3 to 5 minute video together, hopefully with the youngster doing most of the talking and presenting, telling why they need the violin, and then we'll all vote on it on Monday and or Tuesday. It depends on whether I can get it all together. But anyway, next week we'll vote on it and see who wins. But you have until 5 o'clock tomorrow evening to enter that contest, and don't cost you nothing. So if I was you, I'd consider it, especially because the odds are pretty darn good. Let's see. All right, there is a handmade violin that someone sent me a picture of. He sent me a very, very complimentary letter. He just said, I want to say thank you. This is, by the way, the fellow's name is Brandon Fisk. Brand Fisk. He says, I just wanted to say thank you for all the excellent instrument building and repair videos you created over the years. I initially started minor instrument repairs for friends and family members after watching your outstanding list of repair videos where you show how to fix nearly everything imaginable. Having played the fiddle for a number of years, just with family and friends, I decided to give it a go building one myself. I do this strictly as a hobby. The fiddle is mostly based on a 1630 Maganini or Maganini. I don't know how to pronounce that. I've heard it pronounced a dozen different ways. But anyway, a 1630 Maggini violin. And anyway, he said the body is a little larger than your typical violin. He says it's not perfect by any stretch. I still need to put some kind of varnish or protective coating on it. I'm very pleased with the outcome. I attached a few pictures, so we're going to see those here in a second. He says if you could make a suggestion about the protective finish, something that would be minimum blurry and blotchy. Well, I really do stand by the True Oil gun stock varnish for your instruments. It really does make a good coating. Fairly easy to apply. You can apply it 10 different ways, and it does run easy though. You just look at it wrong and it will run. So you put it on as thin as you can put it on. That's the only caveat I have about the True Oil gun varnish, is that it does run super easy. I mean, like, you can't put it on thin enough. Anyway, so it says, P.S. I know what you mean by hand pain. He says after using those little finger planes for what feels like countless hours, you figure it out pretty quick. Well, the only thing I add to that, not to top you, but do that for 40 years and almost every day, most of the day long for the last 10 of those 40, and you'll really know what hand pain is. So here's his violin, Brand Fisk. And looks really like he did a nice job on a first one there. You can see it's all white wood, of course, because it's not been stained or varnished or anything. And he's got some pretty fancy pegs on there. I like those pegs. That looks real nice. I don't know what the peg body is made out of, the part that fits into the holes. That needs to be pretty tough stuff. I can't tell what that is. It looks like it might be rosewood or some other exotic wood. That likes to break. That part likes to break. So hopefully it's a good solid wood. He's got a little decorative inlay there on the back there with some of that purfling, which looks nice. And you can see the top there with the fingerboard. He looks like he has ebony, fingerboard and tailpiece is what it looks like. And chin rest there also. Well, it looks real nice. I think you did a nice job for your first one. I think I'd recommend your using the True Oil Gunstock varnish is probably what I'd recommend. That's your closest thing you're going to get to how they did it in the old days, if you will, without buying a regular violin varnish. Now, you can get them some places. I had trouble finding it toward the end. I was really having trouble finding it. The True Oil Gunstock varnish is, in my opinion, just as good. It works just fine. So there you go. In addition to those pictures, I got some last-minute pictures this morning from Mr. Bill Webb. He's now doing repairs at a guitar shop down there in the Commerce, Texas area. I don't know that it's actually in Commerce, Texas, where the shop is. But anyway, he sent me these pictures. I thought you'd get a kick out of this. See that bottle cap there above my head? That's what was partly holding that pickup in the guitar. Random pieces of stuff. There's just so much that people put in guitars. I just find it hilarious, the stuff that you find inside guitars. Like I said, I've found just about everything you can imagine inside guitars. Especially everything that's wooden, rulers, toothpicks, popsicle sticks, baby bed rail, pieces of paneling, just random pieces of wood, just all kinds of stuff, just crazy stuff. And what people think it's going to fix, I don't know, but they do it anyway. So there you go. And I think that's all my random stuff I have for you. And here is the title of the video, about the sawmilling or of some logs that are cut down. So here's a little look at that.
Well, it's Wednesday, September 18th in the morning. Logs this morning. I've got quite a few more rocks, and I got all this out of 2 trees. I'm going to lay a few more before I quit pieces today, are going to be shingles. I'll cut these in half again.
I don't know how that happened. I've never had the sound go with a previous video with the current. I don't know how that happened. I have no idea. Bear with me for a second. I'll see if I can make a change and make it happen. I don't know. I have no idea how that happened. Just call it the Rosa thing. That's all I can tell you.
Well, it's Wednesday, September 18th in the morning. Logs this morning. I've got quite a few more rocks, and I got all this out of 2 trees. I'm going to lay a few more before I quit pieces today, are going to be shingles. I'll cut these in half again. Part of the way through the day here, what it looks like. I think I'm going to bring it out to approximately here. Well, my friends, I cut a bunch of logs this morning. There was 2 trees, and I got all this out of 2 trees. These little short pieces are going to be shingles. I'll cut these in half again. First, I'll square them up. I'll get them square, and then I'll cut them in half again. And so I have 4 blocks that I can cut shingles out of. I have to make a shingle jig for my sawmill. And I've got it in mind on how to build that. Don't bother sending me examples of shingle jigs. I've watched probably every video on YouTube about that. So I'm pretty familiar with all the different possibilities. Mine's going to be similar to many of them I've seen, but it's going to be slightly different, at least at the beginning. Let me go inside and I'll show you some piece of what I'm planning to do. Well, there's not really very much to show right now, but I'm going to take this board, lay that on top of the sawmill. I'm going to flush mount these hinges. I'm going to mount 4 of them up through here. One here and one here and here and here and here. I'll lay one of those blocks on here. And screw this to the bottom of the block, if you will, and the block will lay down. And there'll be a little board along here too to keep it from sliding sideways. And then I'll have 4 of those. And then I can cut, once, put a shim under each of the blocks and raise it up with this hinge. I can raise it up a 1/2 inch, cut again, drop it back down, cut again, raise it up, just keep doing it. And so I think this hinge is going to be the easiest way. Now, yeah, I'll have to put 2 screws in each block, so it's going to be 8 screws. But with a screw gun, that ain't very hard to do. And anyway, I think it'll work. I don't know for sure. Ain't nothing to it except to do it. So I'm going to give it a try that way. I've seen other people do it with wedges, and they're, blocking their blocks in with wedges and other options, and even including screws. But I really think this might be the easiest way to do it. We'll see. You'll see after I show you my whole idea.
Yeah, I'm kind of copying a general idea, but I'm trying to modify it to make it the easiest way I can do it for myself. I like easy. I like simple. I don't like anything complicated. Keep it as simple as possible, and generally that's your best design. So that's what I'm trying to do. We'll see if it works out that way. I don't know if it will, but we'll find out shortly. Possibly even today. I think that's everything I was going to cover. So let's head down through the comments and see what we've got. Rod Wintler was number 1 in there today. And Dottie's there. Let's see. And she's praying for us. Thank you, Dottie. And David Tharp says, scientists have discovered a new strain of lice that is resistant to all treatment. It has left them all scratching their heads. Let's see. Wavy Gravy says, I asked the local guitar shop guy how I could warm up my guitar's tone. After hearing me play it, he suggested a gallon of gasoline and lit a match. Yeah, let's see. David Tharp, the waiter asked me what I want to order. I said that I couldn't make up my mind. He said, how about the duck? I'll have the lasagna, said the duck. Okay, funny. Let's see. Wavy Gravy. My neighbor accidentally cut off his cat's tail with the lawnmower. He quickly rushed the cat to Walmart. When I asked why, he said because Walmart is the largest retailer in the country. Okay. David Tharp. A cat may have 9 lives, but a frog croaks every night. Yeah, that is a true statement. Well, at least during some times of the year. Sometimes they don't croak at all. David Tharp, my wife says I can act like an idiot sometimes. Pretty cool for her to give me permission like that. David Tharp, I used to live in one of those inflatable houses, but it got a hole in it. Now I live in a flat. That would be mine right there. I guarantee you that would happen with me. Eddie Turner, I started making money 2 days after getting a guitar. Mom paid me 25 cents during the day, and Dad paid me 25 cents during the night just to leave it in the case. Yep, there you go. Eddie Turner, request I would be asked to play out behind the barn and far, far away. Yep, exactly. I got those same requests from my mom. Ronald Todd, as a wood turner, I find that I have the best finish results with Waterlock's Gloss, which is a type of tung oil finish, very glossy. I'm sure that would be just fine, Ronald. The idea with an acoustic instrument is the acoustics, so I know for sure that the gunstock varnish gets very hard. And that's what you want. You want a finish that gets crispy hard so that it vibrates and rings better. Anything soft or semi-soft, as in like polyurethane, deadens the tone. So that's why I recommend that, because I know for sure it gets crispy hard. In other words, it needs to shatter like glass at some point in time after it cures. You know, whatever finish you use, like lacquer does that. So as long as it shatters like glass, it's probably a fine finish to use. Aletha Chris, have you seen the baby donkey that your grandson has? I realize that equine are not your present thing, but it's so cute, and Isaac is so happy. Yeah, I've only seen it on video, to be honest with you, and I've driven by and see it out the window. But yeah, it is cute. I give you that. There's no question about that. It's as cute as it can be, and Isaac really is happy with it. I don't know what he's going to do with it. I can't imagine doing anything with it. Just having it as a pet, I guess. See, to me, everything has to have a function. I don't have anything unless it does something. And that's just been that way my whole life. I can't help that. That's just the way it is. Just the way it is. Chuck Heidbreder, should work for making shingles. Should work for making shingles. Yep. Rod Wentler, Jerry, is your cedar aromatic like the wood they use in cedar chests? Yes, it is. Yeah, it's definitely the smelly aromatic cedar for sure. Bill Mumbo, can you mill the planks into wedge cross sections, then chop them to size? Well, I can't read the whole thing because that's the last comment, and but anyway, that's what it looks like. It says, can you mill the planks into wedge cross section, then chop them to size? Well, I guess that's what thought I said I was going to do. I'm going to mill them like they are first. They're only 40 inches long right now, and I'm going to make square blanks out of them. Then I'm going to chop them in half. There'll be 4 of them, and I'll put all 4 of them on there, and then slice 4 shingles at a time. Each time I slide down through there, I'll be cutting 4 shingles. Benita Drager, I like the name Newton for the baby donkey. Then it would be Isaac Newton. That's a good one. I like that too. That is a good one. I do like it. I doubt they'll do that because they're funny about stuff like that. But that to me that would be a great name, Isaac Newton. There's Isaac Newton. Wavy Gravy, Jerry, have you ever worked on any harmonicas? Well, not professionally. I have actually had them apart and monkeyed with one of the, I don't know what you call those. I don't know the technical words, but the little brass flap that's flapping in there that's supposed to make the tone. I've moved those around to get them to either they were stuck or unstuck. I've done that, but not just on my own harmonica or something, but I've never done it professionally, worked on any. Bill Webb, good afternoon, Jerry and friends. Well, Bill, did you see your picture there of your repair? I showed that just a minute ago. Chuck Heidbreder, make sure to hold down each piece so they don't twist when sawing. Well, yeah, that's I'm going to have a little board along the side there where they can't slide sideways, and the hinge will keep them in place also. And I think the hinge will keep them from doing this very much anyway, because the hinge will be attached. But we'll see how it goes, and if I need to apply something else, I'll apply something else. I'm trying to do the minimal that I can do and get away with to make this work. My goal anytime I'm building or designing anything is to keep it as simple as possible. 9 times out of 10, when you do that, it's better. That's all I can tell you. So anyway, that's what I'm trying to do. Trying to do a minimalist build on this. And I can always add more to it. You know, that part's not hard. It's not hard to make it complicated. Well, anyway, guys, I think that's probably going to be it for today. I will see y'all this evening at 7 o'clock, and we will do a mandolin lesson, and we're going to concentrate mainly on sevenths unless I hear anything from anybody else. And we'll do quite a few different practice songs to get through there and show the sevenths off and all that. Ronald Todd says, what were the finishes on the old high-end instruments? Stradivarius, they were oil varnishes, and you know, the hype is that they were all secret oil varnishes and nobody knows exactly what, and that's what makes them sound so good. No, that's not what makes them sound so good. I'm sure it was a quality varnish. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything against their varnish, but what made them sound so good, Stradivari made something like 3,000 instruments. He knew what he was doing. He learned from one of the best makers at the time, which was Amati. That's what made them sound good. And they're 300 years old, or well over that now. That's all it takes to make them sound good. There's no secret out there. Everybody thinks it's some mythical secret. Believe what you want. That's all I can tell you. David Tharp says, thumbs up. Guys, thank you all for being here. We will see you this evening or tomorrow with something else. Thanks.